What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Xavier Miller. The former trainer of Dillian, the body snatcher White, had this to say about AJ and Daniel Dubois. He said that AJ's best times are behind him. Daniel Dubois' time is right now. He went on to say, he turned into a man. He's turning into a man before our eyes. AJ's time has long gone. The best times are gone. And it's Dubois' time to shine. And it's Dubois' time to show Anthony Joshua why it's his time to shine. And let me counterpunch. Shout out to Xavier Miller, friend of mine. Good guy. He, of course, is good friends with, Don Charles. Don Charles, of course, trains Daniel Dubois, so you can see where the encouragement is coming from. Okay, so there you go on that. But the body of what he said, was it true? Is it Dubois' time to shine, or is it AJ's, is the last times are behind him? I like to think that. I don't think it is. I think if anybody's rejuvenated, it's both. I think both of these fighters have been rejuvenated since their losses or their upsets or their shortcomings, or their fall from grace. Okay, I think AJ got with Ben Davison, and Ben Davison has pretty much reminded AJ of who he really is as a fighter. And I think Don Charles has worked with Daniel Dubois enough, and I think along with added promotional pressure, along with trash talk, has ignited Daniel Dubois. And here's the irony of what Xavier Miller said. He said the best, or he feels the best of AJ is behind him. It's the same as though the people that fought Daniel Dubois thought that he was the same person in the Joey Joyce fight and in the Alexander Usyk fight. They almost depended on it. And I think what Xavier Miller's doing is he's thinking, or he's assuming that AJ is going to be a person that we haven't seen in about 3 fights now. Well, definitely 2. So it's basically the worst thing you could ever do is assume that this fighter is going to come in the worst way for the fight that you want to happen. See, they're assuming that he's going to come in at his worst. They should prepare for him to come in at his best. Because if the only thing they're going off of, oh man, AJ, the last of his days are behind him. And say that about Francis Ngannou. Say that about Otto Eileen. Otto Eileen was talking that same shit too. And see what I notice about Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua. The worst thing you can do is piss him off. Because then at this point, he has every intention on knocking your face off. Whereas I don't know what it was before, but it just becomes more dramatic and more aggressive of him trying to do so. More deliberate. Okay. You think he broke Otto Eileen's face on accident? He tried to do that shit. He tried to hurt that boy because of what he said, and it pissed AJ off. So I think the last person that should be at that press conference is Xavier Miller. So because when Xavier Miller says, I think the best times are behind him, AJ's going to hear that shit and use it as fuel, just like Daniel Dubois does in his last 2 fights against Miller and Hrgovic, because they both talked trash. But what if they talk trash to each other? We may see one hell of a fire fight. But you guys tell me what you think of Xavier Miller and his prediction on Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua, or his feelings about these 2 fighters. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.